Okay, YouTube. Happy Yule and Merry Christmas and Happy Winter Solstice, whatever you are celebrating or did celebrate. And Happy New Year, too. So, okay. So, lucid dreaming. I want to talk about lucid dreaming today. This is a very important step in any kind of spiritual practice, and especially in ceremonial magic or any type of hermetic magic, is to get control of your dreams. And it's a little difficult, but once you do it, it's just like anything else. It's practice makes perfect. And so I'm going to talk about that today. And also you can, with the help of some herbals, that will also facilitate some incredibly vivid dreams or nightmares, as the case may be. But if you get control of the dream, then the nightmare you can change the nightmare into a dream. And so I'm going to talk about how I did this and what my purpose was, and see if you can relate. Okay, so about 20 years ago, I read some Carlos Castaneda books, and they're pretty popular. Most people that live in California read them, or people who are interested in spirituality. You kind of go down the road of Native American spirituality, especially if you're American, just to check it out and see what it's about and learn from it. So that's what I did. I bought some of his books and I read them, and I enjoyed them immensely. I loved them, and I know that some people think that he's a fraud or there was no Don Juan or any of that, but I really enjoyed them, and I will tell you that the techniques worked. The main technique that I used was getting control of your dreams, or my dreams. And so he had two methods that he used, and that would wake you up in your dream, that would initiate the experience of lucid dreaming, meaning you knew that you were dreaming. So what that was is, the first technique was to look at your hands, to remember to look at your hands, and that did two things. One, it made you become aware that you were dreaming, and two, you could see your dreaming body, which is something that is just a step below your astral body. They call it the etheric body, and that would help you to control your dream. And also you would kind of develop this etheric body. So that was one method. And the other method was if you were being chased in a dream, which a lot of people are, they don't know what's chasing them, or if something is chasing them, they know what it is and it's not benevolent. So when you're being chased from your dream, pick a point on the horizon somewhere in your dream and concentrate on it. And this point is supposed to suck you towards it. And the more you concentrate, the faster and faster you're sucked into this point that you focus on. And if you're inside, just focus on a point that's far away, relatively far away. So that's what I did. Now, I tried both of these techniques, and I was able to master the second one incredibly. But it didn't. What I would do is I would focus on a point, and I would get sucked, and then I would fly. I would usually be flying, and I would get away from whatever was chasing me quite easily. But then I would be sucked into another dream, and in that method, I could only control a small amount of these dreams. I would actually think of something more, something happier, or something more soothing, or something more exciting without the fear of death in it. Because all my life, I've had incredibly vivid nightmares. And I have a theory about why this is, but I'll get to that later. But anyway, so it would suck me into a new dream, and I would kind of be able to control the ambience of this new dream that I was in. So then, I don't know why, I kind of got out of that. I got into other things, or I was just kind of trying out different types of spirituality. And since I couldn't control the dream completely, I sort of lost interest in it over time. But you really have to think about it during the day, and especially before you go to bed at night. You can say to yourself, I'm going to lucid dream. I'm going to lucid dream. I'm going to be awake in my dreams. And that does help. And I did that every night. But that just kind of fell by the wayside. So lately, since I've been practicing magic and studying all of these different magical paths and methods, one of them is lucid dreaming pop back up. So I decided to try it. And what I would do this time during the day, during my waking hours, I would look at my hands and I would say, am I dreaming? Sorry. Or I would ask myself, am I dreaming? Am I dreaming? Every time I thought about it, I would just look at my hands and say that. Okay. So then, so one night, I did this for 3 days in a row. And boom, I did it. I remembered that to look at my hands. And I knew, oh my God, I'm dreaming. So I lifted up my hands. I said, I'm dreaming. And I looked at my hands, and usually they will look completely different. Nobody really knows what it's going to look like. Some people have reported that they've had blue fur on their hands, or their hands were deformed, or they had really long fingernails like a demon or something, or claws. And none of that was true with me. I looked at my hands, and they looked exactly the same, except there was a small mole on my palm, and it was flesh-colored mole, raised mole, and I just thought was odd. But after that, I started to control my dream, and there were other people in my dream whom I did not know, and I started to change them. I started to think of them like I would change their sex, I would change their hair color, and I would tell them to go away from me or come near me. And then, this is the strangest thing in the world, okay? So it worked, but you really... okay, let me start over. So that worked for, I don't even know how long, a few seconds, a few minutes, however, in dream time. But then I was tempted by a woman, and in the dream, I must have been a masculine presence. I mean, I had feminine hands, I had my own hands, but I was sexually attracted to a woman. And I'm in real life, I'm pretty much heterosexual, almost 100% heterosexual, but I get turned on by women by looking at them a little bit, but I've never really wanted to engage in that, or had a strong desire with that. But I really felt that strong desire. I felt sexual desire, incredible sexual desire. And so I kind of kissed her or something, and then I lost control of the dream. I completely forgot I was dreaming again, and I lost control, and then it kind of just went fuzzy, and I don't even remember what happened. But something is in the dream that doesn't want you to realize you're dreaming, or if you are, they're going to try to bring you out of it. And you have to be on the ball. You have to always be alert that you're dreaming, and it takes quite a lot of effort to do that. In my case, it did anyway. So that's when I saw my hands. Now, after that, I had to do some strenuous work, and I was so tired at night that I kind of forgot about all of the looking at the hands, and that kind of went away. And so I got back into it, and I haven't been able to see my hands again yet. I haven't been doing the am I dreaming, you know, in wakeful hours, but I'm going to be doing that again. So hopefully I'll be able to see my hands and try again, you know, and keep trying and keep practicing it, because practice makes perfect. And, you know, there's several magicians. One is Franz Barden, that say you should be able to control your dreams, and you should be able to control your astral projection, which lucid dreaming is a step to that. So, and I've astral projected a few times before, but I was completely out of control. You know, I had no control over it, and I actually felt fear in that state. And then somehow I ended up back in my body, but that's another video, and I'm going to talk about that later. But so I wanted to show you, there is an herb. It's called the dream herb, and I just got it the other day from a pharmacy in Hawaii. And the technical name of it, oh, this print is so small, geez, is, oh God, it's minuscule. I have good eyes. Okay, it's called, God, it's some long name and it's so small. Anyway, it's Calea something. It's a Mexican herb from Mexico, and it's Calea, and then it begins with a Z. But they put it in a dream herb syrup. See, this is it. It's from Hawaii Farm, and they put it in a dream herb syrup. And what I do is I put a little bit in my tea. Here's my tea, and I put a few drops, or I actually put an entire eyedropper full of this syrup, an entire eyedropper full into my tea, and I did that yesterday. Oh wow. I wasn't able to see my hands in my dreams, and I wasn't able to control the dream, but the dreams were so incredibly vivid and so detailed. And and the thing I noticed the most about it was everything had this golden sheen. Everything was gold. And that was just, I've never experienced that before. There was not everything was gold. There weren't gold people walking around, you know. The people would look the same, or the buildings, but they were lined in gold, and they had a golden glow about them. And I thought that was very strange, but I'm going to do that tonight. I've been drinking it in my tea, and I'm going to try it again. And for me, you know, the getting control of my dreams and being able to control my astral projections are the most important thing above anything else before summoning spirits or being possessed by spirits or goddesses or gods, or even mental traveling, which is basically journeying. They call that in the Celtic tradition, or shamanism, more or less. But that is something that to me marks the threshold from when you become an adept. Before you're a novice, and then you're an adept, because that's when you pass away, you know, your astral body goes, and you're able to, if you can control what's going on while you're alive, you can control that when you're in a different state. You're not in the physical state any longer. So that is my main goal, really, and I get really excited when I go to sleep at night. I'm going to talk about astral projection and what happened with me and what I've been trying to do with it in another video, and I will, you know, keep you abreast of my progress. But so I wanted to mention that to you, that you can look that up online. I wish I had that name. Ugh, it's so tiny I can't see it. It's a little teeny tiny little print. So but anyway, that's my goal, you know, to try to control the lucid dreaming, and especially since I've had nightmares all my life. I don't know why that is, but I have a theory, and that's because they want to keep you afraid, and they want to keep you and when I say they, I think there is a certain force that wishes to keep people completely in physical consciousness. And then when they're in physical consciousness, to keep them either depressed or unhappy or uninspired. And I think that this force, it takes on many different roles. It lives in human beings. And I do think that it's an interdimensional force. And when I say they, it's multiple entities, but it or they desire that, and it goes beyond death. And I want to talk about that later in another video, but I really wanted to get this to you guys about my lucid dreaming attempts. And let's see if I lift anything out, because I made some notes. Oh no, that's everything. I think I've covered everything. But yeah, if you're interested in that, look for your hands, and if you don't remember to do that, if you're being chased, concentrate on a tiny point in the horizon and let it pull you. It will start to pull you, and it'll pull you faster and faster and faster. And in that way, you can get away from whatever it is, and usually you go right into another dream, or even sometimes, less often, you wake up. So, okay, and that's about it. So, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Yule, and Winter Solstice. Bye.